All right, welcome everyone to our hands-on book creator, creating digital interactive books. We'll be getting started right now, so you can feel free to watch our recording with us. We are excited to be here presenting at Parents and Caregivers as Partners 2024. And today you'll have an opportunity to get hands-on with some of our digital interactive books. I'm going to use Book Creator as our presentation tool today. And we'll be able to see all of the amazing things we can do within Book Creator. I'd like to begin with our land acknowledgement. The land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now the home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. I acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaties, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. We are presenting through Zoom today, so we ask that you make sure your browser is full screen. We're going to ask that everyone have their microphone muted and your video camera is off. Your video camera being off will allow, when we go into Book Creator, for you to use the camera within our Book Creator tool. Otherwise, we might have a little bit of conflict with it. We will be sharing some helpful links right within our chat, so feel free to take a look at those as they're posted, and you can feel free to ask any questions. You may notice my eyes darting to the side while I have my camera on. What it is I am approaching with two screens today, so I can see any questions that do appear. I see Mira, my co-presenter, has added a helpful resource link right into our chat. We have also enabled our closed captionings. So this way you can feel free to view whatever we are saying if that's a little more accessible. If you'd like, you can feel free to turn off those captions as well if you just want to listen and follow along. Excellent. So what we'll do is let's begin and dive right in. So my name is Joshua Solak. I'm one of the assistive technology teachers within the TDSB, and I'm excited to be here presenting with you today.
And I'm Mira Campbell. I'm another assistive technology teacher, and I'm so excited to be sharing Book Creator today with you.
Awesome. So you might be wondering a little bit about what Book Creator is. I'm going to show us a quick little video that's going to outline all of the different tools that Book Creator can support us with, and it'll give you a little preview of us getting hands-on with our tools today. Awesome. So that was a great little preview of what we can do within Book Creator. As we explore today, you'll have an opportunity to dive right in yourself and try all of the tools that we just saw available for us.
Okay, so as we begin, we just wanted to let you know the intended purpose and audience for this book. As we've shared in the chat already, some resources, you will have a link to a sample book that you'll be able to refer back to. This book is going to be a published book, and it is available to view on the web, so you can actually view it on any device, including your phone. And so we are sharing this at the conference, and we just ask that you don't post it publicly. And then one other thing we wanted to mention is we wanted you to have that hands-on experience today. So we are going to have you log in, and we're going to give you access under a student account that you'll have available for 30 days. Okay. So yeah, go ahead. Perfect. So this is actually from our Family's Book Creator Guide, and you will have access to this. There's many more pages in the guide, but we just wanted to start by discussing what Book Creator is. So you saw a short preview, but what makes Book Creator so amazing is that it is a web-based tool, so that it is available on all these different devices that you see below. One note is if you do have an iPad, you do need to have iOS version 14 or above. So just keep that in mind. And we love that it can be accessed at school and home. And you're going to see as we go through this demonstration that there are so many different ways for students to express their ideas and their content. And there's a lot of support that's built in with accessibility features. And all students have access to it as it's a supported tool by the TDSB. There are lots of different ways that students can create books. And so when we think initially about Book Creator, we would think first there's three different ways. And Josh, if you don't mind going back just to that one page, perfect, thank you. The students create. So students can create their books individually or they can co-create with their peers, which is a really fantastic option. Another way that Book Creator can be used is that teachers can actually create templates that students are completing. And so those again can be done individually or they can be done collaboratively. And what's nice about these tools is that when the teachers create templates, there are these built-in tools such as being able to have text read to students. They can use speech to text and a lot of other tools you're going to see. So that makes it quite supportive. And then finally, teachers can create and document sort of what's learning that's happening in their classroom. And then students can read those books. And another thing that I've seen happen, which is really fantastic, is sometimes students, once they get introduced to this tool, they'll use it at home. And then as a family, they will create and document family trips that they take. So lots of options. Thank you. You can turn the page. So we have then, again, as I've mentioned, it is a TDSB supported tool. And so it has been carefully selected. And then the next page, what we really wanted to talk about was why use Book Creator. So there's lots of information on this page, but I think for me, what stands out is that it is just an amazing tool that engages students and lets them be lets them be creative and really lets them have their voice shine through. So they're able to talk about, their lived experiences and they can put in their actual voice, but also just a lot of ideas, and it's just a great outlet to express themselves. And so we have found that even when we introduce the tool for a specific project, sometimes students will go in and create other books, just creative writing stories or things that they would like to do. And you'll see that it's available in other languages. So that's another very inclusive part of the tool that we love, that you can turn it into different languages. So you can have the tools in French or 10 other languages, but there's also now translation features in there, which are really supportive. So you'll see there's lots of different things we're going to take a look at today, but it's just a great tool that encompasses all these different options. Students have choice. They can add in multimedia, so images and video. They can draw and annotate on things, record their voice. So it's a really wonderful tool, and we're excited to share it with you today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Welcome.
So I'm currently in our demo book. You may notice in the chat, we've put in a little link attached with your name. So you can feel free to click on that link and it will take you into our Book Creator library. So as I look to our library, we'll see the demo book that I'll be presenting through today. We also can see, I see that John has joined us here as our student 3. I see we also have our hands-on book as well as a sample book that we can see. As we go into our library and we all start to join, what will happen is you will see your book. As we are the teachers within the classroom that we've created today, we will be able to see everyone's book, but your book will only be visible to you or to us as teachers. Other students within the class won't be able to see each other's work just yet. So I'll give us a moment so that everyone can join our library. Reminder, it is right there in the chat for us available. And this is just a sample student for you to get hands on today. If your child is accessing Book Creator, their teacher would create the library and they would be able to join their classroom library. We are going to keep our library open for 30 days afterwards. So if you do want to go back and try out some of these tools and make some of those connections, you can feel free as well. Excellent. So here I can see our student 3 has joined. I'll just give us a moment for student 1 or student 2 to join us as well.
And even if you don't end up creating a book with us today, you can watch and you can take a look at all the different features that are available in Book Creator.
Excellent. I see Kayla asked a question about how they can join. So there's a link right in our chat. You should see Kayla and then a little link below. You can click on that link and it should take you in. As Mira mentioned, this tool is available on our Windows or Mac devices, as well as Chromebooks and iPads. Our iPad will need to have, I believe it's iOS 14, if I'm not mistaken. And as well, if you are on an Android tablet, it is available on Android tablets as well. Off the top of my head, I can't recall which version of Android tablet software you might need, but you can try clicking that link in the chat. And if you have any other questions, you feel free to ask. Perfect. I can see student 2 has joined, so it looks like Kayla's joining in here. It's just loading up for us. Excellent. Awesome. So I'm going to come back into our demo book for us. What you can do is from the Book Creator library, once your book loads, you'll see the option to click on this little pencil. This will allow you to join into our book. And now we are in the editing portion of our book. So within this page here, you can use the arrows to navigate between the pages. And so we've created a sample template for you. So what I'll be able to do is move forward on my screen, and I'm going to move along for us, covering all of those pages we've already looked at. I'm going to stop ourselves on page 12. And so this is where I will be able to showcase the different tools we're going to access. And then you'll be able to go to the next page and try it yourself. So if you'd like, you can feel free to watch my screen for a few moments. I'm going to walk us through adding our picture directly into our book. So at this time, I'm just going to turn off my camera just to make sure that my computer is able to access the camera here. And on page 12, what I'm able to do is click within this border. You'll notice there's a little plus icon. So I'm going to click on that plus icon, and it's going to allow me to add an image or use my camera. This is how students will be able to put themselves directly into their book. So when I click on that little plus icon, I can come down to my camera, and it's going to open up for me. If it's my first time accessing this, I may need to click on the little allow camera button. Now what I'm able to do is pose, give a nice smile, and click take picture. I can then preview that picture, and if I like it, I'm able to put it directly into my book by clicking on the Use Picture button. It's now going to take a moment and it's going to load right in for me, and there I can see myself within the book. Excellent. What we're able to do now is we can go to page 13, and now you can try it yourself. We've also allowed for the little visuals here. What we can do is click on that plus. I'll show it one more time on our demo page book, and I'm going to click on that camera. I can smile and take that photo. I can click on the use picture and bring it right in. I can also add my name. So by clicking where it says add your name, if I double click on this, it will open up the option to allow me to add my name right in. Now we can choose to use the keyboard to type it in, or we can also use that little microphone at the top to do speech to text. My name is Joshua. And then we can remove the extra text. When we're all done, we can click on that done button. I'll give us a few minutes to try that out ourselves. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. On your book, you'll want to ensure that you're on page 13 to try it out yourself.
And actually, I'll jump in there for 1 second. I believe on your book that we assigned, it will be page 7. We had a couple extra pages in the beginning for our demo book.
Excellent. So I see a question in the chat. How does the book become interactive? So this right now is how our students can interact with the book. They'll be able to add in all of their elements to it. And what we'll do is when we get to the end, Mira will be showing how our students can actually have the book read to them as well. So what I'll just make sure is that when we are in our library, we'll want to make sure that we are in our book by student three. So for John, you'll want to make sure you're in our book by student three, clicking on that little pen icon, and that will bring you right into your book. I'm going to enter your book for us. And what you can do is move forward to your pages. On page, we'll be able to try out these tools. So on your book, it'll be on page 7 that you can try this out. I have a few more pages in mind, so you might not notice it, but on page 7, you'd be able to click on that plus icon and start adding in your own picture. As well, what you might want to do, I noticed that your camera is on. You might want to turn off your camera, and that way Book Creator can access the camera for this. And then you'll be able to edit your text as well.
And another note too, that in the library, you will see our original book. So you do want to make sure, as Josh said, that the book you go into has the pencil icon, and that's what will allow you to edit. If you are in our book, it's going to have a play symbol and it won't be interactive. You will not be able to edit it. So right below the book, you should see it say student 1 or 2, and then that's how you'll know.
I'm going to come back into mine. I hope, John, you were able to enter your book as well and try out some of these tools. I'm going to click on pages and just scroll down to make sure I'm right on my correct page. So feel free to add your photo in and add the text to put your own name in. Excellent. I see we have somebody else that's just joined us. So I've added your link to access your Book Creator sample book directly into our chat. So for R. Almeida, you can feel free to click and join that link that I just dropped into our chat. Right now, we are trying out some of the different tools in Book Creator. So feel free to click on that link. I'm just going to come back to our library and see if we're able to join. So I'll give everyone a moment to try out our different tool right in here, and we'll be going on in just a moment.
And do let us know in the chat if you're having any difficulty. Even if you don't add a photo, but you change the name, we'll be able to see what you're doing as you're working on it, as the teacher would be able to see what the students are doing.
We just had another person join us. Excellent. Thank you and welcome to our hands-on book creator activity. You can feel free to click on that link directly attached to your name in the chat and it'll bring you right into the book. I see we have another student that's joined. Once your book has loaded in your library, you can click on that pen and then you can use the arrow keys to go to the next page. So there's an arrow on either side of our page. This will allow us to navigate between our pages. What we are doing right now is we're trying out some of the different tools in Book Creator. So we've just tried out, I believe it's on page 7 in your book, how to access our camera tool, as well as how you can access the text. So here I was able to click on that plus icon and add my own photo. And then you can double click on the text to add your own text to the page. Double clicking on it, it'll allow you to remove the text and type your own information.
And I am noticing that someone has gone in and started a book from scratch, which is fantastic. If you do want to be participating in the template that we've created, you're going to click on the link that's in the chat that is attached to your name, and it will open up a copy of the same book.
Excellent. So I'll give us a moment just to catch everyone up. Once you've added your photo and your name, you could even let us know in the chat. I see, Kayla, you're having a little difficulty. So if I come back to my library,
Mhm.
what we can do is use the little arrows within our library to look for our student name. So Kayla, I believe you are student number 2 for us. You'll want to look for the book that says by student 2 on the bottom. And it's our Parents and Caregivers as Partners 24. We abbreviated it, and it's our hands-on book creator. You'll just look for student number 2 below, and then you can click on that little pen icon. That should allow you to enter your book, and then you can use the arrows to go between the pages. Excellent.
Absolutely. And when you try again, even if you go on page 7 and you try, when you see the text that says your name, try double clicking in that box and changing the name, and we'll be able to see if you're in.
Going to come back to my book. I do want to give everyone an opportunity to try within their own and not put anyone on the spot opening up their book for them. So I'm going to come back to my book. The pages won't line up because we've added a few more elements for ours. But within our books, when you do see the page that looks like this, if I remove mine, what I can do is I'll show one more time. We're able to click on that plus icon and I can select my camera. With this, I'm able to take the picture. So I'll smile, taking my picture and clicking on that use picture button, and it will add right in. I can double click on that pink text and then I can edit it as well. I'll give everyone a minute to try it out. Awesome. How are we doing? Have we been able to try out adding a photo and adding the text? Excellent. I see a thumbs up.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, and I see in one book and I see a wonderful image that's been added in. Fantastic. Oh, that's great. And thank you for offering to let us open up your book.
Excellent. So this is just the start of us interacting with Book Creator. That will give us a chance to catch up. And are we ready to go on to our next tool?
I think so.
Awesome.
Fantastic. So on this page, what we have is you'll notice at the bottom there's 2 icons. Those are there just to let you know that we're demonstrating on this page the text feature, so adding in text as well as adding in an image. So you can see at the top we have a prompt that says, "What is your favorite food?" And Josh is going to be, since he's sharing his screen, he's going to be demonstrating as I sort of narrate what we're going to be doing. And so what I love about this is, again, this is just such a great way to engage our students, being able to not only bring in text, but images, and really allow them the choice of, what they want to put on their pages. So the first step that we're going to do, when I'm in Book Creator, that yellow plus button, that's where I add all of my content. So I'm going to click the yellow plus button, and you're going to see there's a lot of different choices. So I have the images, I can have the camera tool, which we've seen already. That also has the option to do video. I have a pen tool, my text, and a record button where I can record audio, and there's actually no limit on it, which makes it another really great tool. So the first thing I want to do is add text. So I'm going to click that text box. And what you're going to notice is that there are different choices. Now, we are in a comic font, so we're going to see some different choices of title that are in a comic style. But for today, because this is just going to be the text that I want to add to the page, I'm going to choose the bottom one. So that plain looking text there. And when I click on it, it's going to open up a text box. So in this text box, you're going to again see that microphone, which is a really nice tool to support our students. So if they would like, they can use that and it will actually type for them. They also have the option to type right into the text box. So I'm going to put for my favorite food that my favorite food is pizza. You might also notice in the same box there is the translate button. So we've got a lot of different features that are built into Book Creator. So we're going to simply add my favorite food is pizza. We're going to click done and it's going to add it to our page. Now you'll notice when it adds it to our page that it is quite small, but I can click and as Josh is demonstrating, it can be moved on the page. So the first thing is to move it down and then also with the blue circles on either end, I can stretch it out to make it a little bit longer. Now I do want to change the size of this font. So in Book Creator, whenever I want to make a change, I use the inspector tool. So that is the eye, which is in the top right. And when I have something with a blue outline like my text, I click on the eye and now it's going to bring up my text options. So you can see with that at the top, I can click the plus button or I can slide that blue circle to make it larger. I also have the option to change to a lot of different fonts and the color. But for this demonstration, I'm just simply going to make it larger and there we go. Now, I want to give you an opportunity before we go on to the next step of adding an image to put in a text of your own. So we're going to give you a few minutes to decide what is your favorite food. And again, if you do have any questions, please put that into the chat so that we can help you. Fantastic. I'm looking in the books. I can already see that people are trying out tools. John, I see that you've even gone in and tried out the pen tool already, which is fantastic. And as you're having an opportunity to add text to the page, just let us know either in the chat or with an emoji how things are going and if you've had a chance to put something down, and then we'll be going on to adding an image onto the same page.
I see lots of updates in the different books.
Fantastic.
It's okay if you just want to watch our demo. There will be a recording of this afterwards. And so even if you save that little link for yourself, keep it open in another tab, you may be able to watch the demo later. If you are having any hiccups as well, you can let us know what type of device you're on. If you are accessing on a cell phone today, you won't have all the interactive features. Book Creator will allow you to read the books after they've been created, but they're still developing, working, and creating on different cell phones.
Okay, so perhaps we'll go on to our second step. On the same page that I'm on where I added in that my favorite food is pizza, I now want to have an image added to this page. So once again, I'm going to go to that plus, the yellow plus button, and this time I'm going to select images. Now, one of the things I want to point out with images, what's great about it when it's built into Book Creator is that it comes from a website called pixabay.com. And so all of the images that are being added here are ones that you are allowed to reuse, which is important when we're working with our students. We want to teach them to source, to find their sources and use images that they are allowed to and give proper attribution. So again, I see a microphone in my image search box, which is great because I can again use a voice search if I wanted to, when I'm looking for pizza, again in this example, I could click that microphone and say pizza, and look, it comes right up with just a small pause. You have so many choices, which is really fantastic, and you can scroll down and take a look at which one you want. I'm going to choose the very first one. I liked that image. And when I click on it, I can hit add. You'll notice on the bottom left, it gives me the link of exactly where it came from. And that is something that can even be added once you've put the image onto the page after. So we'll click add.
Sorry.
And you'll notice that there are the bouncing dots, and not to worry, that is something that occasionally it will take a little bit of time for it to appear. And so you just give it some time. And if for some reason it does not appear, I always just go back in and I try adding the same image again, and then usually it will come. Now, this image you'll notice has taken up the entire page. So with the blue circle, I can move it in so that it's going to resize. When we were using the image on the first page with our photos, that was in a text box, so it sized it perfectly for us inside the box. When I take an image and I add it through the yellow plus button, I might have to do some resizing. Another thing I just like to point out too is that if I do click on that image and then again I click on the inspector tool, this time it's going to bring up options for images. So I have an ability to make it transparent, to remove the background. I can also crop my image if I scroll down, and that can be really useful too, because I can actually fit it to the exact shape of the book that I'm working in. So if I'm in a square book or a landscape book, or if I want to freeform crop the image and just really zoom in on that pizza, I can click crop and it will add it to my page just like that. So a lot of really fantastic opportunities there for students to have choice and to add in images that represent their ideas. So again, we'll give you a little bit of time just to add an image to that same page where you have already put in your text. Oh, fantastic. I'm seeing some great things being added in. I think that someone has even tried removing the background in one of their images, which is great, and adding in some of the stickers that are part of our comic features. So when you click that plus button, you may have noticed, and this is what I love about Book Creator, is that everybody enjoys using it and starts exploring on their own when we're doing these demonstrations. But under that plus button, you're going to see some stickers. And because again, we're in that comic font, we've got stickers like wow and pow. So at the very bottom there on in the blue, yep, you can see lots of different stickers that you can even add right onto your page. So all you do is click and it will add it to the page. Fantastic. And I see that people have already figured that out, which is great. I think another wonderful thing about this tool is just seeing the different creativity of students, and how each book, even if you start with the same template, it's so different, depending on the student, and they have that choice to add their ideas in any way that they want, whether that be recording their voice through images, text, or a combination.
Awesome.
All right, well, I think for time, maybe we'll go on to the next step, just so that we get to show you some more features that we have in the book.
So what we're going to take a look at now is how we can put our voice directly into our book. So with our tool, we can use the sound recorder. So I'm going to click on our little plus icon again and record a message right into my book. We can see our prompt is what was the best part of your week? And the best part of my week is watching all of these innovative presentations for parents and caregivers as partners. So I can click on the plus and I'm going to come down to my record button. When I select it, it still shows me my page so we can still see all of the information we might want to talk about. I can click start recording and it's going to give me a countdown. It's going to go 3, 2, 1. The best part of my week is presenting here with all of you at Parents and Caregivers as Partners, showing the different things that Book Creator can do. I can click stop recording when I'm all done and then click on my play button. The best part of my week is presenting here with all of you at Parents and Caregivers as Partners, showing the different things that Book Creator can do. And I think that's a great recording, so I'm going to click on the Use Recording button. You'll notice that now you get a little microphone, or a little speaker icon, I should say, that you can click on to play it. The best part of my week, we can then drag it wherever we'd like on the page. And you can try that out on your own. In the interest of time, we do want to show a few more tools. So what we'll be able to do is go on. We are recording our session, so you'll be able to try these out anytime after today. You'll also be able to see some of our helpful tips and tricks if you do want to try these out a little bit later. So again, we have all of the visual prompts on the page that you can try it out on. I'm going to continue and show us our adding a video tool. So here we see another prompt from our favorite part of school. So we've already used our camera to put ourselves into our books. I'm going to show now how we can use the video feature to record a video directly into our book. By clicking on that plus icon again, it's a great little tip to remember. Anytime you want to add, just click on the plus. We can come down to our camera tool. Our camera will open up, and again, I can see myself. I'm going to click on record video. My favorite part of school is using digital math manipulatives to show all of my thinking. I can click stop, and again, we could play and preview our video. And when we like it and think it's perfect, we can click on use video. If we aren't a fan, we can click on that delete button and re-record it. I'm going to use our video. And it's going to put it right onto our page. Again, just like when we added an image, this is going to load in, so it may take a moment. I know my computer is broadcasting Zoom as well as doing this, so it might take a little bit longer for us. But once it comes in, we'll be able to adjust it and resize it directly on our page. You'll be able to try all of these tools out yourself. And as we mentioned, we are going to keep this open for 30 days for us. I'm going to go forward again in the interest of time, and we can always circle back to seeing when we read our book, all of the tools and features that we've added. Look at that, my video has inputted for me. Here's your workspace to try it out in your book.
Okay, fantastic. So adding a drawing to your book, we really wanted to show you the other options that students have. And so again, we're going to go to that yellow plus button, and there you're going to see a pen tool. Now, on the pen tool, when you open it up, you have some choices. So along the bottom, you're going to have different thicknesses of the pen to select from. There's also some different types of pens that you can choose. We're going to choose the one that says auto draw because this one is actually quite unique in what it can do. So when I click on that, I start drawing, and I'm going to draw an apple. So I'm going to start drawing what I, imagine or do the best that I can with the mouse. And as I'm drawing it, look at above how it's guessing what it is that I am trying to draw. So right away, it knows that it's an apple. And when I click on it, it actually converts the drawing into an image. So then I can click the blue X. And so now I have that apple. And what I can do is hit done and it's on my page. If you notice, there is a pencil icon in that top right. So if I click on that, I can go back in and I can actually edit my apple. So what I can now do is I could change the color. So I can click that paint bucket and I can choose red. And when I select the paint bucket and I click in the apple, it makes it red. And then I could take a green color to do my leaf. And again, with the paint bucket clicking right in there. And again, it's allowing me just to change the colors. I'm going to do the stem next. So how fantastic is this? So, sometimes we have students who might be a little hesitant to do drawings. So this can be a tool that supports them to allow them still to contribute ideas. However, we also have students who love to draw. And so what's great about Book Creator is that there are these drawing tools built within, but also they can draw if they have a favorite drawing app, they can draw in that and add the completed image right up into Book Creator as well. So lots of options there. And I think just before we conclude, as we are running out of time, here we have our workspace again for you to try. But we do really want to show you on the next page just this Read to Me feature, because this is a really powerful tool in Book Creator where it allows you to have the content on the pages read to you. So if you don't mind, Josh, if you could go to, let's go back to that pizza page. So we're going to go back and then we're going to change, see the gear wheel right beside that Read to Me button. That allows us to change the option. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to turn off the side by side so that it's just on the one page. And I'm going to go back one page just so that it's on the page that I completed. And when I go into my gear wheel, I also can change the voice, I can change the speed, lots of different options that are built in there that you can explore. And
Microsoft Zira, English, United States.
exactly.
Microsoft Mark, English, United States.
And so lots of options, but depending on the device you're on, you'll see more voices. So our students are often on Chromebooks and they have a lot of different voices to choose from. On our device, if you're on like a Windows or a laptop, it's whatever's available on the device, but you can always add extra voices. So let's just go ahead and see what this Read to Me and how that works. So again, once you have your settings selected.
Journal. What is your favorite food? Oh. My favorite food is pizza.
And then I can hit stop recording. So really amazing that it can read the content. So this can be a great tool for students to review their writing once that they have added content to the page and to really hear if it says what they wanted to. It's also a great way if students are just reading a book that they can have it read aloud to them. So again, it's just building in all those different choices. All right, I think we are, as we are approaching the end, I have put into the chat the link to this document that is up on the screen right now. This is a link to our session resources. And so in our book here, we also have in some built-in tutorials that are going to show you step-by-step how to do all of these different things that we looked at today. And then even a couple new ones we didn't get to, such as the translation. We have our family guide, which we were taking a look at the very beginning today. And as I said, there are some more pages in there that you can explore. And when you click on it, it's going to open up a window. You can even open it up into a new tab and you can flip through and you can see again. We saw what is Book Creator and why use it, but then there's also some information on how a student would access it. And then finally, too, on our document, we also have put in a link to our website where there's more information on Book Creator, as well as the sample book, so that you can see a completed book. Fantastic. There's tutorials here again, some of the same tutorials. And again, our sample book that we were working in today. So you're going to recognize some of the examples. And this book is a published book, so you can view this on a phone, you can view it on a web page, and this will always be available to you. The access to be in Book Creator to actually try it out is going to be for the next 30 days. But this published book, if you keep this link in that document, it will always be available to you.
Very much for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time to learn about Book Creator. If you do have any questions, you can direct them towards your child's teacher. They'll be able to explain a little bit more about Book Creator, or they can also access our assistive technology site to determine how it could be used within their classroom. We do have our recording, and so we will be ending here. Again, feel free to explore Book Creator a little bit more on your own and utilize all of these resources to see exactly how Book Creator could be used to support your child.
It was a pleasure having everybody here today, and thank you for that in the chat. We're so happy that you enjoyed using this tool, and we'll be here for a couple minutes. If there are any additional questions, please feel free to put that into the chat.